Hey, what's up, everybody? This is your boy, the dope ass dude, and I am so excited to be here on tonight. We have a great show lined up for you all, and it is going to be filled with laughter because these guys are pretty damn funny. But it's going to be a great show on tonight. We got some great content, and we definitely want you guys to get out in the chat and let's get this conversation going on tonight. And if you are not already subscribed to the podcast, go ahead and click on that subscribe button right now. And then while you are clicking on the subscribe button, click on that notification button so you can be notified each time a new episode is uploaded to the podcast. And while you're right there, go ahead and click on that like so that this can get pushed out to everybody that is just like you that want to be, involved in the conversation. So go ahead and click on that. And then if you are not following me on TikTok and Instagram, go and follow me on both. It is the Dope Ass Dude podcast on both. So make sure you go out and do that. And then lastly, if you are on the go, you can always catch the podcast on Apple, Google Podcasts, and Spotify. So you can always catch the podcast. It'll be out there later on tonight, but make sure you go ahead and do that. And then again, don't forget to click on the like button. So, for those of you who are just tuning in and who don't follow me on TikTok, I started doing a little video segment. There were 8 videos that I put out on TikTok, and they were all called How Would You Respond? And there were different scenarios that I gave, and you could be either male or female. And, the people would comment on the podcast, on the video, they would come in and give how they will respond. It is hilarious. And it was all leading up to this moment tonight. So the guys that I have on here tonight, they are various age groups, your 30s, your 40s, and your 50s. So we're going to have a wide range of perspective. And they've all, very successful, dope ass dudes, and I've known them for years now. And each of these guys, like I said, bring a unique perspective to the podcast tonight. And it's all about dating. So we are going to go ahead and bring them on out. And let's go ahead and bring them on out. What up, Eric? What up, Omar? What up, Tony?
What's up? What's up?
And what up, Willie? What's going on, fellas?
Nice. What up, John?
What's up, man?
How y'all doing?
Good, pretty good.
Y'all doing pretty good. Y'all ready for tonight?
Yeah, let's do it.
Y'all okay? Y'all sure y'all ready? Y'all sure y'all ready?
Stay ready. You don't have to get ready. So we good.
So Tony, go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself since you ready.
Oh man, hey, I've been knowing John since I was a teenager, man. We go way, way back. He was bald headed then when he was a teenager. He never had no hair. Like, dang, bro, you supposed to wait to get older to be bald. He was bald as a teen. But anyway, man, we go way back, man. And as musicians, we have played at church together for years. And I also work in the aviation industry. I manage a criminal background office for Love Fair Airport. So just here hanging out tonight and, have some fun.
Nice. And what about you, Willie? Tell us something about you, man.
I'm the married guy of this segment. Been married going on 27 years. Work in the telecommunications industry. Been there for about close to 25 years. So, yeah, that's what I do.
Nice. So Willie, you're definitely gonna bring an interesting perspective tonight because you still happily married, whereas 2 of the guys on the thing, marriage didn't kind of work out too good for them. So Omar, we're gonna turn to you on that note.
Yeah, speaking of the devil, huh? Yeah, so I've been knowing John for I want to say close to 8 years now. And I was married for 13 years, and I've been divorced for about 4 years now. So
Nice. And Eric, how's marriage work out for you?
Marriage didn't work for me. It was a rough ride. Probably stayed married 5 years. Divorce was finalized this past March, so I'm good.
Good. So wide range here: divorced, married, and never been married, right, Tony? You never been married, right?
Never been married.
Me,
Single.
huh?
Single. Never been married. Single. I say
Stay
single.
that way, bro. Stay that way.
So he's the smart guy of the group. I
Yeah.
see you, Tony. I see you.
Nah.
So, fellas, as I stated earlier, I posted a couple of scenarios out on TikTok, and we want the audience to get involved in it and everything. So, first thing I'm going to ask you guys, well, I'm put everybody wants you to put this in the section down below, but would you allow your partner to bring in a third person into the bedroom or relationship? So before you guys answer, let's see. We want them to answer a little bit in the comment. Eric Pat said, "Hey, Eric."
Hey, Eric.
So would you guys let somebody come in the bedroom? Okay, David said no. Okay, David said no. Okay, let's see what else we got here. Anybody else out there? Okay, well, I'm going to read. I think it's this one here. Nope, that's not it. Hold on one second. Okay, so the whole scenario that I put out there was the guy came to because I was doing it, the women responded back. So the guy comes to her and he says, "Hey, I love you a lot. I couldn't imagine my life without you. So I wanted to know if you would be okay if we bring in a third person into the relationship." And it said that, this person wouldn't wreck their vibe. They wouldn't wreck the vibe that he already has. And he already had someone picked out to be the third person. Okay. So some
Damn.
Yeah,
some of the
already,
comments.
that's already going downhill right there.
Yeah.
Janara Walker said, "Babe, I feel the same way about you. Actually, I was going to ask you the same. We can have 4 parties involved. Known him for years." Okay, that was one response. Courtney said, "WTF, just because your bald head mammy and nappy wig wearing granny was third parties doesn't mean I'm with it." Okay. And last one. "Okay, great. I've been thinking the same thing and got somebody too. Waiting. Yeah, I thought so. Don't feel too good, hon. Take your arsh on. TF." So, Tony, would you allow her to bring someone in?
Wow, man. It really depends on the relationship. Like, if I'm really serious about her, like if that's really my girl, that would be hard. Like, but if she just somebody I met, at a club, we just kicking it, because a lot of men, one of our fantasies anyway is to have multiple women at one time. Let's just be honest. And so, holla. So, but if I'm really serious about her, I would say no. I would say no. If it's just somebody I'm not serious about, we just kicking it, maybe.
Okay, well, what if it was somebody that you were just kicking it with, but the person she wanted to bring in was a dude?
Oh no, we're not doing that one. No, I can see. No. The only
No sword
option.
fighting going
No,
on, John.
no. Call it what you want. The only option is 2 women with me.
Okay.
Not the other way around. No. I won't even let her finish that sentence. No, sir. And that's just me. Just me.
That's just you. Okay, yeah. Willie, what you say?
No, I'm gonna have to say no. Anything like that, you need to do all of that wild stuff there before you decide to marry somebody. You talking about threesomes and foursomes and adding extra people. You need to make sure you got all that at your system before you get married, because you got to dedicate yourself to that person. If you bring a third person in, more than likely one of y'all will be thinking about that third person. It's old adage they say, when 2 people lay down, somebody get up with feelings. That third person may get up with some different feelings, or one of you two may have some different feelings after that encounter. So, yeah, I don't play that game. No.
Yeah, what if it was before you got married? Would you be open to it?
Like, I think I had to agree with Tony. It depends on the situation, and I'm definitely gonna say can't bring another dude in there.
Come on, man.
Definitely a no. Like, no way, no how.
Okay. Omar, what about you?
Yeah, I'm with the fellas. It depends on the situation, right? If it's something serious where I can picture myself with this girl in the future or whatnot, long-term relationship, then it would be a no. But if it's a casual thing, and she wants to bring in one of her homegirls, and hey, I mean, who am I to deny her? But again, it depends on the situation and if it's the severity of how I'm dealing with that female.
Okay. Eric, what about you?
I'm gonna put this spin on it. What if there was a medical condition and one person couldn't perform? Now, you don't want to go out and cheat, but you discuss it. I mean, it could be open to that possibility.
But we're talking about y'all both healthy, able bodies that can perform.
The possibility. I'd be open to it.
Okay. Even if she wanted to bring a dude in?
No.
Well, it's gonna have to go both ways. If it won't be just she bringing a dude in and I can't bring a chick in. Now we can do it two separate times.
Okay. So you kind of liberated. You the liberated one of the group.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. Because, now women would argue the fact, they would say that that's a double standard, that you guys want to be satisfied, but you won't let them be satisfied. What do y'all say to that?
Oh, true. That's fine.
I mean, there's differences in people. I stand up when I go pee, she sits. I mean, there's
There you go.
differences. I mean, it's just different.
Okay. So no, y'all say no to that.
But see, the other thing, John, the thing that you have to also note is if a girl or whatnot, someone you're dating, if she really wants to spice things up, she's gonna want to bring another girl, right? If she's trying to bring a dude in, that's like, all right, that's a red flag, right?
But she's spicing it up for her. She's spicing it up for her if she bring the dude in.
But I don't know. I
But
don't
at
know
that
if
point,
women.
it's like, well, you know what? Then it seems like this relationship's not, or this situation's not working for you. So go with the other dude. But if you want to bring a chick in, then let's do it. But not a dude. Yeah, that's a red flag for me right there.
Okay, Tony, what were you saying?
No, I just say women are different when it comes to that. Like he said, if you talking about bringing another dude, something wrong, because women don't get off like men like that. Like we think about having two women. I don't know if women think about having multiple men, and if they do, ooh, Lord.
Okay, and when you say and when you say something is wrong, what do you mean by that?
As far as it's, I mean, because like you're not satisfying her probably,
Correct.
and she's trying to figure out a way to, okay, well, you need some help. You need some help. So let me get you some help, something like that, because let me get you some help. Because that would be, red flag, all kind of flags.
Okay, so red flags for you, for the
me.
male in the relationship, right?
For
So
me.
that means, he probably needs to step some up.
And it might hurt my feelings. I don't know. I want to bring a man in the bed, but I don't know. That'll be a hard one for me. That'll be very hard. Yeah.
Yeah, you talking about like in regards to ego?
Ego, most definitely. Like my ego would just be wah 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 wah.
Yeah. Okay, so
what about if you go back to what I believe Eric said? If it was something medically wrong, before you bring another guy in there, wouldn't you explore like different toys to use before you? I mean, bringing another dude that's a hard one to swallow for any man. Have another dude sitting there like, whoa, do you measure up? It's all kind of questions going
Just
on
not
in your
wired
head.
that way. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, a guy told me two dudes naked can't do nothing with each other. I mean, if you, it's a fight if he touch your arm, let alone anything else, you know. So it's just we're just different like that. I don't, yeah. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Oh, what were you saying? So Yolanda said, it might hurt our feelings too with y'all wanting to bring another woman in. So what do you guys say about that?
I mean, both ways, you know. And I had a buddy who, him and his wife, you know, decided to go into the swinging and whatever, brought another woman in, and the wife left him for the other woman. So it could go both ways.
That's right.
We just took a turn.
So if you bring another man in, if you bring another woman in, I mean, you open up that Pandora box, you know, for that kind of situation. But it's something that has to be discussed and depends on is, you know, to even tread in those waters.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's definitely something you have to think about and consider before you bring it into your relationship, whether it's marriage or a serious relationship. You know, it's something that you definitely have to take into consideration because that opens up a whole new window.
But I want to ask the fellas. So if your wife or your girl came to you and she said, I want to bring another girl into the bedroom in our relationship, what if that other chick is like bad, like Beyonce bad, like bad? Would you say no? I mean, would you really say no? Like even you be like, damn, I don't want to do this, but this chick is so bad. Like how would you do that? How would you handle that?
You really got to know. You got to know who your partner is, and if they're thinking like that, either they're trying to see what you're thinking, you know, see where you're going, or something. It's always something. It's never just straightforward. Like, hey, I want to bring this chick, and you see the chick and it's Beyonce, and you're like, what? Her? Yeah, that's kind of tough to believe that that's gonna happen.
Yeah, because at that point, she's not going to bring someone in that's badder than her, you know, because at that point she has to compete with it. But speaking of spouses, Willie, and partners, knowing your partner, your wife just said neither can two ladies together. Y'all double standard dudes.
Figured it out.
Yeah.
So it's just a double standard that's gonna pretty much stick with pretty much all men. Okay.
Dudes are double standard. I mean, to just get it out there. We are.
Okay. So let's move to the next scenario. Who pays for the date? Who do you guys think paid for the date?
Which date is it?
It could be any date.
99% of the time, the guy pays for the date. If it ain't his birthday or something like that, Father's Day, he's paying for the date. That's just how it goes. How many times any of you guys have a chick pay for your dinner?
I just went out with a young lady, like I ain't gonna say when, but recently, and she said, "Oh, I got the bill." Like she told me, she said, "No, I got it." She put out her credit card. I said, "Okay." Well,
she's a boss. She's a boss.
First time hanging out. She said, "No, I got this."
That's the new thing because it's the numbers are not adding up with men and women on a dating scene. So it's like 40-60 or something like that, where the women are outnumbered the men. So they almost have to step over those boundaries now.
Yeah.
And do things that they normally wouldn't.
Yeah, so I did that scenario. That was one of the videos that I did. And in this video, I forgot. I thought because she asked me out, she had it. My impression was whoever asks you out, that's who pays.
I like that. I like it.
Yeah, whoever invites, they pay. So got a lot of responses on that. Latoya said, I would take care of the bill. If we were going to discuss the bill, it should have been before we decided to go out. It's on me, baby. Laughing out loud.
Let's go, Latoya.
Let's go, Toya. Where you at?
Courtney is back. Courtney said, well, buddy, look like you'll be in the kitchen washing dishes, but I have enough money. I have enough to cover my meal and lose my number. So she don't even want him to call her.
That's a red flag. Red flag.
And Queen of the South said, "You absolutely right, King. I got it. All that extra you saying, say no more. We good. Glad you enjoyed yourself. The feeling was mutual. Next time it's on you."
There you
So,
go.
I know we was just talking about double standards. Is it a double standard that women think men are supposed to pay, even if they initiate the going out? Is that a double standard on women?
Yeah,
I,
Yes.
yeah.
Tony, what you think?
I mean, yeah, I most definitely believe so. I mean, I don't know, maybe it's how you was raised. Everybody was raised different. Maybe that has something to do with it. But the thought is, oh, the man got it. And some women live off of that. Like they go out with different dudes just for meals. It's like
Oh
it's
yeah.
crazy. Yeah, they actually live
Right.
off of that. But for me, I'm good either way. Like I feel like a woman should have at least the opportunity or the option if she wants to do it to pay for it. Hey, I ain't gonna stop you. I'll tell you that. No argument for me.
Right.
And
Yeah,
it makes a man feel good sometimes for a woman to do that because we so used to doing it for a woman. Be like, you know what, I got that. It really makes a man feel good.
yeah. Omar, what you think?
Yeah, I this last chick I was dating, she actually during the time that we dated for about a year or so, she was always insistent, even though I would invite her out, she'd be like, "No, let me pay for it. I got it," or whatnot, you know. And I really like that about her because it's like, okay, like if I'm inviting you out, it's with the assumption that I'm going to pay. But like he was saying, it's good whenever, they initiate and say, "Hey, I got it," and to me, that was really attractive. But I also had, I went on a couple of dates with this other chick. She would invite me, and then she would have that expectation that, I would pay. And for me, that was a turnoff. I'm like, okay, well, if you're inviting me out, there's certain things that I shouldn't say, but she never took that initiative to say, "Hey, I got it," so there was a big distinction. And I really like how this other chick, to me, she was telling me that, "Hey, I really like you," and that was a way of also saying, "Hey, we can be equal. If you got me this time, I got you next time." So for me, that was a huge turn on.
Okay,
Right.
Eric. Eric, what you say?
Men want to feel appreciated, and um, a lot of times when we go out, depending on who you're with, it's the woman expects the man to provide, but then men we want to be. All we want is some type of appreciation. You don't have to take us to a 5-star restaurant. Take us to a simple restaurant. We're simple creatures. You can just take us to a simple restaurant. It's just the act that's put forward that makes us feel appreciated.
Okay. Okay, Willie, what you say?
Um, Most guys gonna pay. It's just I mean, that's an old tradition, I guess, that we're all used to it. If whether the chick asks you out or you ask her out or y'all just met up, the guy's gonna. It's like when you're going out, you're gonna, "Hey, let me get you a drink." It's very rare that a woman's gonna come up. And I'm not saying they don't, but 90% of the time, it's the guy buying the drink. It's not the woman coming up. "Let me get you a drink." So it's I think it's just a tradition that we're just used to doing, and we just made it the norm. The guy's going to pay for the date.
Yeah. Now I definitely want to go back to what Latoya said. She said it should have been, and I'm assuming it should have been discussed before we decided to go out. But how many times do they discuss who's going to pay for the bill when the man pay for it? That's never
Yeah,
discussion.
never discussed. Like if a young lady bring that up, I'm like, damn,
Right.
we actually talking about that?
Right.
Like, yeah, it's kind of weird. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. Women
Yeah.
never have that conversation with men when
Yeah.
they paying, but when he has that expectation for her to pay, she thinks, it need to be a discussion, I guess, so she can prepare to pay for whatever the deal
Hers.
is.
She gonna pay
And
for
that's that.
hers.
Yeah, and that's a double standard there too. That's
There
a
you
double
go.
standard there
Right.
as well. So, okay, so Marquita says she's a traditionalist, so she want the man to pay. So Willie, you just keep on paying. You just keep on paying, brother.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So another scenario I gave out was the guy, when he met the woman, he dated her for a while or whatever, and he had kids, but he never told her he had kids.
Ooh.
He introduced his kids to her as his nieces. So he come back, he asked her, they have a conversation about he asked her, well, how many kids do you want? Do you want to have kids? She says, yeah. And he was like, well, how many? And she says, 3. And he says, well, good, I want 3 too. And then he says, I have 2, so we only have 1 more to get. So he's pawning his kids off on her too. So I asked, like, how will people respond? And so put up a few responses. That's not it. Hold on real quick. So the response was, I definitely think this is something you disclose on the front end. Secondly, them first 2 kids is your kids, not our kids. Laughing out loud. And then Trey said, abort, abort. Nope, running out of the door. Nope, see you about that foolishness. And then Yolanda said, nope, nope, and nope. Just lying. You ain't got to lie, Craig. So when should someone tell the other person they have kids?
At some point, you got to tell them. Crazy story. Back when I was real young, I was going on a date with this young lady, and so we were going to the movies and grab some meat. So upon going to the movies, she was like, "Oh, can you stop over here?" I'm driving, and she comes out of this apartment with this baby, and she's all upset. He got his girlfriend watching our kid. This. Now, before this, didn't know she had a kid. Wow. So you bring this kid in the car, and now we're going back to her place. And she said, I'm going to go put the kid down. I'll be right back. Man, before she closed that door, I was peeling off. Peeling off. I only have a few rules, but that was one of them. If I got 1, you can have 1. If I got 0, you got to have 0. Can't be 2, you got 3, and I got 1. No, it's got to be even from the jump, because you never know what's going to happen in the long run.
Yeah, okay. So, and all of y'all have kids. Each of you guys have kids. So, is there a max number of kids that you would date a woman if she had? I mean, do you have a cutoff on number of kids she can have, Tony?
0.
Almost at 0, but you got 3 boys.
Yeah.
And she didn't have any?
Nope. 0.
Hey, he likes what he likes.
He likes what he likes. Okay, so Tony, what about you? You have a max?
No, but I do agree with Willie. I don't know if I would feel comfortable with dating a woman without kids, with me having kids. I don't know if I even feel comfortable because my kids be around, and I'm tying her up with my kids, and I would feel more comfortable with a woman with kids since I do have kids, most definitely. And a limit, oh man, I never thought about that. But you don't want nobody with 10 kids or something, I mean, some crazy number. Like, wait a minute,
No, sir.
Wait a minute. Like Willie said, if it can be somewhere about mine, around that number, maybe one off and 1 number off, but no more than 1 or 2 numbers off, than what I have. Yeah, yeah, that's just there's too many mouths to feed. We can't go out to eat all them kids.
Okay, here you can't even go to Chick-fil-A nowadays with all them kids.
Dollar menu.
Everybody, y'all get the same thing.
You have to get that 4 for $5.
Yeah, 4 for $5. Like get 4 for $5.
So Eric, what about you? Do you have a limit?
2.
She can only have 2.
Limit.
Okay, and why do you choose 2?
Yes, 2 is the limit.
No, why do you choose 2 though? Why is 2 the limit?
I have 2, so I bring 2 to the table. Your max is 2. That's my number. That's what I'm sticking to.
So if she had 3, you wouldn't date her?
No, she got more than that. I'm not dating her.
Okay, and what about, does age of kids matter?
Oh yeah. Think about it. At the
Ain't nobody trying to change diapers, John. Come on,
Right.
man.
True.
Okay, so
It's
Tony,
it's
age
like
matters for you.
Um, man, my kids are so spread apart. I'm gonna have to say no. I can't ask for something I can't give. So I'm gonna have to say I gonna change them pampers. Come on, come on.
What if and Omar, you already said no, right?
Yeah, I said no. Yeah.
Okay, so out in the audience, if would you date someone that already had kids? So let's see what they have to say. And it seems Yolanda came very with the thing. So Leslie said something a little bit earlier. She said, exactly, if you're talking and giving that info, you tell the truth in the beginning, not later. Why lie? And then what else are you lying about? So yeah, that is true.
True.
And then so what else do we have here? Oh, Omar, Deborah came for you. I guess she sent Omar when you said you wouldn't have nobody with kids. So, like, what is your deal with that, Omar? Why wouldn't you date a woman with kids? And you have three.
Yeah, I think for me, it's just after my divorce, it was something that in my mind, I'm like, hey, if I'm gonna date, I'm gonna date somebody that doesn't have kids, because I know it can get messy, and I know I'm kind of being a hypocrite about it, but so far, I've dated nothing but women with no kids, and they're actually cool with it, because my kids are older too. Like I have all teenagers, so it's not like they're having to be involved to where they're toddlers or anywhere from 5 to 10. So for me, it's one of those things that has never been an issue, and I can bring them around if there's like a friends gathering or pool party during the summer. They can come around, and it's not like she has to chase them or change diapers or anything like that. So so far I've had success, and I'm going to stick with that. Again, it's a preference. And obviously, I'm not going to knock somebody. I'm not going to knock a woman that doesn't want to date me because I have kids. I respect that because I feel the same way about that. So, it's just one of those things that it's a preference and one of my boundaries.
Yeah. And it's funny, Deborah mentioned your name because on that particular situation about someone having, the two kids not telling the truth, Deborah said, hell to the no, 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 no. So yeah, she wasn't down with that guy telling the lie about that either. So yeah, okay. So guys, one other thing that we were talking about before we kicked off the show is separated and dating. So I'm gonna ask the audience first. So those of you that are out there in the audience, should someone who is separated in their marriage, should they be dated? Put yes or no in the comment. Should they date if they're separated? Let's see what we got here. So let me ask that one more time. Should someone separated in marriage, should they date? Okay. Deborah has responded. She says no. That's one no. Okay, and then we'll get okay. Again, oh, they still on you, Omar. Again, a double standard at Omar. Like, really? Yes, that is a double standard, Marquita. I agree. Okay, Latoya says no. If you are separated, you should not be dated. Okay. Okay. And then Yolanda says they can date if they want to, but they won't be dating me. So she said they can date. She's not going to date them. Okay. So Tony, what do you say? Should someone separated date?
I say yes, that is an option. I say it just depends on the communication between both the adults and whatever you decide, as you communicate. Hey, if the man and the husband and wife is good with it, cool with it, their feelings, they have had time to kind of get over the marriage. Yeah, why not? Why not?
Now, do
Because
you think that's actually a conversation they have though?
Yes, you have to have that conversation. Like if you start dating, the other one don't know. You set yourself up because she gonna knock on that door one day for some sugar, and somebody else gonna answer the door. That ain't gonna be good.
But ain't
So
that how it always mostly happens?
yeah, but
Isn't that why it's always drama?
drama, yeah,
The
it
person
happens
on
a
the
lot.
outside always get caught in it because they don't even
They don't
know.
even know. Yeah.
They don't even know. Okay, so Willie, what do you think? Should someone separate a date?
Yeah, I don't believe in this separation thing. If we separated, that means we like I think Eric was
Uh,
saying earlier. I think that's on our way, or Omar maybe was saying that's on our way to divorce anyway because
Right.
we're
anyway,
separated. If we can't talk enough to communicate to figure it out together, separating is not going to help me figure out anything with this
Correct.
situation. It's going to make me drift even further away because my mind goes into, well, she could be over there doing whatever she want to do, so
Right.
I'm gonna be over here doing what I want to do. So it's
come on
best
here.
we figure it out together, or we figuring out how to not be together.
There you
Right.
go.
Okay.
There you go.
Omar, what you say?
Yeah, I think, and to your point, John, it never really happens to where you have that conversation, right? Either partner, there's always going to be one that they want the separation because they want to date other people, right?
Mm.
And unfortunately, if you're on the short end of the stick, it sucks, right? Because you're thinking initially, oh, we're on a separation to give each other space or whatnot, but that other person's out there, in the streets, and you're over here thinking that you can still make it work. But at the end of the day, a separation is basically, delaying or on your way to divorce. So I would say with knowing that, I would say yes. You might as well, start dating during the separation to kind of help with the healing process because you're heading towards divorce anyway. So I
Okay,
would say yes.
we're gonna get healed at someone else's
Mm.
expense.
You know what I mean?
Okay, Eric, what do you say?
I missed the
Separated?
question. Okay.
Should someone separate a date?
Should they separate and date?
No, if you're separated, should you date?
Yes. Yes.
Oh, you say yeah?
Unanimous.
Yes.
Okay, so all the fellas say yeah. I say absolutely not.
Oh, gee.
Yeah, I say nope, and I say if ladies, if y'all run into either of these fellas and they say they separated, run.
So, John, why do you feel that way?
Separated is married. You still married. If you got money to go out to dinner, your ass got money to go pay for a divorce.
Mm.
Sometimes
So,
it
but what
doesn't
about
work
how
that way
long it
though.
takes?
Dinner is cheap. Dinner is cheaper than a divorce.
That's true.
And then how long? And then how long does it take to get a divorce for everything to finalize, John? So
Okay,
Right.
if they ain't got money to pay for no divorce, they ain't got no assets to be splitting like
Well,
that.
what I'm saying, even if you have the money, how long does it take for a divorce?
Yeah, it can
to
take
go through?
years. A
Even
divorce
with the
can take
money, you're
years.
paid for it, but you still the process.
Okay.
Right.
Okay, and I
Process.
guess that's where the gray line is. But there are a lot of people out here that are separated that have not even filed for
Oh,
divorce.
shit.
Run.
Yeah.
It's a difference if
That's
you
true.
filed for divorce. That means you are actively pursuing getting out of that marriage. But if you are sitting up here talking about, well, I don't have the money to file for divorce, because there's some people that have been separated
10
years,
years. 10
Yeah.
years.
and they out here dating some dummy who's falling into it, not realizing you ain't never gonna get married. Something happened to them, wifey or husband, they the beneficiary on the policy. You ain't getting nothing once they gone. Nothing.
They might get a free trip out of it. You know, he might take it to Cancun, maybe for some of that money. You know, she might get one trip out of it.
So y'all say
Yeah.
separated can date.
Yes, most definitely.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
so
mean,
let me see.
you're not dead.
Yeah, you
You're not
live and you
dead.
have one life, man. Don't be wasting time.
Right. You're not dead.
Right, you're not there, so go ahead and put that energy into filing for a divorce and make it legal.
Okay.
So y'all still okay? So if they
Get it
haven't,
in.
Our minds ain't gonna change. So
Nah, you gotta get
okay,
it in.
so if they haven't filed for divorce, y'all still say it's okay for them to date?
depending on what season you in.
Okay, go ahead and explain that season stuff.
Yeah, that season stuff.
Okay. Men we think totally different from women. You know, we meet. You know, women. A lot of women date for a purpose. Um, we date for again whatever that season is in. If we in a season where we just want to have some fun, that's what we want to do. If we're in a season where we want to be serious and settle down with the person that's our flavor, that's what we'll pursue. Because anything that you want, well, anything that a man's want, he will actively go after it. I'm
Okay.
done.
Yeah, what he said.
Okay, what he said. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Eric, you have a separation story, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to share with us?
Okay. So
Let's see how that worked out for you. Let's see how this separation story worked out for you.
Okay, so I met a young lady, and I told her what my situation was, and she was kind of hesitant about it, but she's like, okay, well, I'm glad you told me, so we can proceed forward, but I'm gonna proceed with caution. Okay, we never it never became physical because I cut that out of it, and I told her, hey, look, let's just go through the process. We can go out to eat, hang out, this, that, and the other, but we're not going to be physical with each other. So one night she's she's at a friend's house. She's out drinking. She calls me up afterwards, and I can tell how she's talking that, she had been drinking. So I'm like, okay. I'm like, you been drinking? She's like, yeah. So, well, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm a 7. I'm like, well, damn, you drunk? Because if the city of Irving, if Irving police pull you over, you just got a DWI, girl. So then all of a sudden she just flips it. Well, when you gonna get a divorce? And I'm tired of this and blah blah this and blah blah this. And I'm just sitting there and I just let her go through her spiel. And when she was done, I said, oh, you done? She's like, yeah. I was like, okay. Hey, have a good day. Got off the phone with her. I'm not going to entertain it. Yeah. And I'm not going to let you pressure me to do something that I'm not ready to do, nor am I capable of doing at the time, because I told you in the beginning when we first met of the conversation, I told you I was going through a divorce. Now, what she wanted to do, she wanted to speed up the process. That's not within her power to speed up the process. It has to happen when it's going to happen. Now, if you're willing to wait, that's your choice. If you're willing not to wait, that's your choice. But I think I start seeing those red flags. I just cut it off.
Right.
Done with it.
And see, it's amazing that you say you start seeing red flags in her, because I would tell her you being still married is a red flag. And it should have never got to the point she even called you drunk if she would have just saw that as a red flag and ran.
But a lot of times, go ahead.
So you're saying, John, that once you get separated, you shouldn't date or anything until your divorce is finalized. And I think Omar and Tony both said it could take years for that to happen. So you should be on the shelf for years. 2, 3, 5, 7, 10 years, however long it takes to get through that whole divorce. You should be on the shelf, not doing it, no dating.
Well, yeah, I mean, okay, so this is what I'm gonna say. Like, I just think when someone is dating someone, and you're still married, we're just gonna call it what it is. Separated is still married. Yeah. If you're still married and you're dating someone else, that is an unfair gesture you're doing to them. You're playing where they are allowing you to put their life on hold while they wait for you to get whatever you're going to do, because you can't move forward with them. You can't move forward with them. And if you are not legally separated, because some people go file paperwork to be separated, where nothing is intertwining with you over here. You're not getting nothing I do over here. We are legally separated. Most people, when they get separated, they have an argument. And when they have this argument, they just feel like we ain't, getting along right now. But there's a possibility that maybe we can get back together in the future. Because if you serious about breaking up with somebody, you ain't gonna say I'm separated. You're gonna be saying I'm filing for a divorce. I'm in the process of a divorce. And especially 2 to 3 years later, y'all ain't Oprah and Stedman. Y'all ain't got that many assets to be splitting up.
Well, I think, John, like one of the things that you didn't mention is once you have kids, it can get messy in court, right? So, as far as visitation and who has primary residency for the kids, like, dude, that can take if you're willing to pay good money and your spouse also has good money or a good lawyer or whatnot, then that could take years, quite honestly. But to your point, I would say,
But does that have to happen before you get divorced?
Yeah.
Does that?
well, it's part of the separation and the divorce process, right? But I would say that in the situations where you have two a couple and they're both separated, it might be years, and both of them are seeing other people. It only works if both of them are seeing the same amount of people, right? Or are they just getting hit after hit? But if I'm a guy and my girlfriend or my ex-wife, she's seeing way more dudes than I'm seeing women, I'm gonna like hurry up that divorce process and be like, let's finalize this. But I could see it working if I was getting as much, dates or whatnot that she was getting. But to me, it would be an ego hit if she's going on dates, let's just say, a couple of times during the week, and I'm only getting one hit per week. Then I'd be like, nah, this ain't working. Let's wrap it up, right? But for the most part, I think most
Why
people
would
want to
you?
wrap it up once you're separated, because it
Why,
just,
why would you keep
like, you
up
don't
with
want to have
that
that
though?
tie to that person.
Why would you keep up with that, Omar? What she's doing? If we're going through a divorce, I'm not keeping up with
Because
her
he ain't
day to
ready for
day.
divorce. He's still mentally tied to her.
How many people
Point
you think this
proven.
week? How many? 'Cause I only did 2. How many you do?
Right.
Right.
No, but
How many days you?
And
I'm
that's
not
why
keeping
he
up
should
with it.
not be dating, because he's still mentally and emotionally tied to her. That's
see,
exactly
during
why they
that
should not be
process,
dating.
during that separation, that was my mindset, right? I was like, okay, like, I mean, I'd be lying to you if that wasn't the way I thought right after, she filed for divorce and we're technically separated, but then that's when, for me, that was a cue to say, all right, let me hurry up and wrap this divorce up because it's hurting me mentally and emotionally, right? So to your
Mm.
point, yeah, like in my case, John, that I didn't date until I finalized my divorce, but I sped that process up. So, we were divorced within that year. But because of that, because I'm like, okay, like if I prolong this, then I'm only hurting myself when she's totally fine with, being separated and dating however many dudes she wants to date. So for me, I had that sense of urgency of like, all right, I got to finalize this divorce as soon as possible.
She was just in a different season than you are, Omar. She was in a different season than you were.
Hey,
Oh,
that's true. That might be true. You're right.
According to Eric, she was just in a different season than you were, at that
They
moment.
switch roles. They switch roles for
They
the
switch
situation.
roles. Yeah, they
Yeah.
switch roles.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do think, I stand by that. If you are separated, and then furthermore, and I think this is why a lot of single people are damaged as well, is because they get with people. If someone's separated from their spouse, more than likely they're damaged goods. They're damaged goods. You already coming to the table with it at a deficit.
Oh, John,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
harsh.
you damaged goods,
Right.
That's
man.
harsh, man. That
You
is
damaged
harsh.
goods. You are damaged good, because if
The
you weren't
relationship didn't work. The relationship didn't work. How am I damaged just because my relationship didn't work?
because you still in that relationship. If you're separated, more than likely you just came out of it. You just
Okay.
came out
John,
of it. You ain't even gave
John.
yourself no time to work through your ish.
I don't need no time.
Hey,
See
hey,
right there,
John.
he don't need no time. He don't need no time.
Don't need
Single
no time.
people run from married people. If they say I'm separated, get the hell on.
So,
Okay, what
so
were you about to
John,
say, Eric?
you said something about being broken, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I listened to this minister, Bishop Rudolph McKissick, and he was saying, "I'm being prepared," and he was talking about the uh, uh, taking on the Lord's Supper, and how when Jesus took the bread He blessed it before he broke it. And so you sitting there talking about being broken, even though
you are not about to compare no broke, divorced man to Jesus Christ breaking no bread. We ain't about to even go there. We ain't even about to do that there. We ain't even about to do that.
You're still blessed, bro.
No, you may be blessed, but you need to be blessed and separated with not involving some innocent person in your drama and your mess.
They're not innocent if you tell them up front. Like they make decisions.
Absolutely.
You make a decision.
Absolutely.
But most people do not understand what separated kind of like, and I think separated can mean a lot of things. Like, are you separated with intent on getting divorced? Or are you just separated because the two of you are not getting along? And like Eric said, there are some people who have been separated but still legally married for 10 years.
Now that's in that situation, that's dysfunctional. But to some people, that's normal. And like Willie was saying something earlier. He said, you know what? Well, you want me to just sit here 10 years and not date anything until my divorce is over? I mean, man, shit, I'm gonna expire. Excuse my language, I'm gonna expire. You know, like I told you earlier, how long can milk stay in the refrigerator?
Come on here.
It only has a certain amount of time it can stay in the refrigerator. It can't stay in there a year. It's only a couple of weeks. It has a shelf life. So I can't sit around here 10 years and not date anybody until the process.
If you're sitting around for 10 years, you're not trying to file for a divorce. You're not filing for no divorce. If you're sitting around still married at 10 years to the same person over here, you ain't filing for no divorce. They waiting for you to die to get the policy.
Change the policy. That's all you have to change the policy. That's another podcast.
Okay, that's another podcast. So Eric, so you guys, y'all say, okay, so let me ask you guys this here. Tony, when do you start telling the truth in your relationships?
Day one. No, day one. First conversation. What you want to know? Because I want to go and get it out, and get it over with. The hard things we need to talk about. Let's talk about the first conversation.
Okay.
And so I need to know if I need to waste my time even anymore for a second date. Let's talk about it the first date. How many kids you got? How many, like, what you want? Let's talk about it now.
And for all the single ladies that's watching tonight, they may want to take you out and pay for dinner.
Hey,
what would keep them from getting a second date?
If we don't have a good conversation, if we just don't click well together, we're just not a good fit. And it's not that they're a bad person or not a good person. We just might not be a good fit together. That's all, Yeah. Okay. But as long as we having fun and it's a good time, hey, let's hang out again.
Okay. Omar, when do you start telling the truth?
Day one.
Okay. And give us an example of something that you tell. What's one of your truths?
On a first date, I usually do a lot of listening. I let the woman talk and just, I'm an observer, I'm a listener. And the more I can find out more about her, then, for me, that
the better you know how to play her.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna let them talk, and they love to talk. So I was like, oh yeah, that's great. Oh my gosh, yeah, tell me about it. Yeah.
Okay, so when you're listening to them, what would be a red flag for you?
If she complains a lot, if she talks about other people, then to me that's like an automatic red flag.
Okay. And Eric, when do you start telling the truth? Third date?
No. I'm gonna give you enough information, that's needed at the time. Because if I told you everything about me, there's some things that you might find out about me, that's gonna run you off. For example, and this is just a hypothetical. Tell if you've been in jail for whatever reason, and you told a woman hey, I just did 10 years in the pen, you ain't gonna have no second date. There's
You
no
never
second
know.
date after that. No, there's no second date after that because she already got a block in her mind. I ain't never calling this Negro ever again. So you have to be, careful on what type of information because you could tell her everything and then something happens and then y'all never talk again. She disappears. She ghosts you and you done told her all your business and you don't even know why she
Oh my
left.
God, let me ask you this though. Okay, so you wait to the 5th date. Now you really like her. Now you tell her
Okay.
about your 10 years. Now you really like her now because you 5th date in. And she like, nah, I can't do that. So now you didn't wasted 4 dates. You didn't waste it. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of bills you didn't pay for because you didn't tell her that at the beginning.
I get that, but he the thing is in those 5 dates, there's if she likes the vibe, then there's some things that could be navigated through, and then you just discuss it. You just tell her, okay, hey, I went to jail because I didn't pay my tickets. Oh, okay. Now, if you say, hey, I went to jail because I robbed the bank and then I shot 3 people and this, that, and the other, it just depends on the severity of what you
Yeah.
went to jail for. If it's some
Yeah.
simple stuff,
Yeah.
cool.
But
if
you
it's
don't think it's important enough to say I went to jail on the first date?
Hell
So
no.
If she likes him, she's gonna ask.
well, she won't know. Who gonna ask have you went to prison? Who can ask
So,
that?
if he was like an OG, hey, she might be like, hey, so tell me about your past. What neighborhood did you grow up in?
Right.
Tell me about yourself.
What set you free?
What you been doing the last 10 years?
Yeah.
All that time.
Oh my God! So Eric, so you stand by that? You wouldn't tell that on the first date?
Hell no.
No, man.
Okay. Well, don't you want? I'm kind of like with Tony. Don't you kind of like want to just go ahead and get it on out the way and save yourself money and time, and because they're gonna run regardless.
I can understand that though. You don't want to tell someone everything about you right off the bat because you don't know what's going to happen. You don't even know if you like them or not, anything.
Right.
So
Yeah.
it's kind of tough to just open up and say, okay, I've been to jail for 10 years. I robbed a bank and I got caught with this. It's kind of,
Right.
that's kind of a lot to throw on anybody. If a woman told you that, on the first
John,
date, I've
John,
been in
it's
jail
a
for
date.
10 years.
It's not a 12-step meeting.
Bye-bye.
Right.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
So
Yeah,
if
she 10
she
years, 10
went to
years first date, you like, wow. Like,
if
nah,
she
I'm doing
went
with
to
this, she
jail,
like,
y'all
wow.
wouldn't want her to tell y'all that like up front.
Not on the first
No.
date.
Yeah, not on the
You're
first
right.
date.
Yeah, you can go and tell me. You can go ahead and tell me because I'm like, okay, I know what I'm dealing with off the rip. I
Yeah.
know what I'm dealing with off the rip. Like, yeah.
You know, if you
No,
need to
that-
take your car keys with you to
I
the
know,
restroom.
I need, yeah, I need to take my phone and my wallet with me. I need to know. Just tell me how we sit down.
Okay,
And
so
you know I do criminal background, so I need to know. I need to know this stuff right now.
Hey, Tony, I'm gonna send you some background checks.
Hey, go on, man. I got you.
okay, so for
background
those, and we're gonna have to get y'all back on here because this was really, really good. So let me ask you this here: what is some things that should be told on the first date for women? If y'all were dating, well, for women, like what would y'all want them to tell y'all on the first date? That could be a deal breaker. What type of things would y'all want them to tell
Wow,
y'all?
that's a good question.
Number of children.
Yeah, number of kids, that would be good.
How many partners?
Ooh.
Oh.
So, how many partners would be a deal breaker for you?
What they call it now? Body count. What's your body
What's your
count?
body count?
Yeah, that's what they call it now.
Okay, so body count, we gotta go with that.
On the first date, you gonna be asking that? Like, how many you been on the first date? That's a tough question to answer on the first date. Like, wait a minute, you ain't thinking about that, especially at the age we're at now. Not the first day you think about is getting in there like that. You like, wait a minute, your body count first day?
She'll be more willing to tell you that she went to prison for 5 years.
The body
between her
count.
last ex. I shot my last ex and went to prison for 15 years.
Oh
I
man.
got
Okay.
out on the technicality.
So
Oh,
body
man.
count. What else would y'all want them to tell? So Latoya said no, sir. I guess Latoya said she ain't telling her body count.
I think I'd be scared of someone that told me the body count on the first day. Like, yeah, I've been with 15 guys. Be like, check, please.
Yeah.
Separate checks.
Okay, so I Am Diva 1976 said on the first day she wants to know kids, marriage, if you're living with your mama or roommating with your wife. Oh, whoa, with your wife because you ain't got no money.
Oh,
Oh,
Lordy.
Who she live with?
Yeah.
If you rooming like that, you shouldn't be out dating.
yeah, you should be out dating. So what else y'all got? So what else should these ladies tell y'all? Would y'all date a woman with a roommate?
Is it male or female?
Yeah. Same sex or opposite sex?
Either.
Same sex, I'm cool with that, but
Right.
well, maybe what to do. It just depends. That's a good one.
But see, John, like, so the other thing too is like, what's your purpose in dating? Like, if you're dating with the purpose of like a long-term relationship or marriage, then yeah, those things are important. But if you're just casually dating, I don't give a damn. You don't have to tell me anything.
Yeah,
as long as we're having a good time, hey, keep it to yourself.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, okay. Yeah. Well, you just go and get your self checked out the next day since you don't want no information. You go get checked out and get a free test at the clinic, and hey, we'll be going.
So are any one of y'all just dating just to kick it? Because I'm thinking at our age we're dating to be in a relationship. I'm just guessing that.
See, I'm dating just to kick it, quite honestly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Uh-oh.
Eric, you dating just to kick it?
Just to kick it.
Yeah, me and Eric, we're on the same boat.
Okay,
hey,
so
we're gonna hang out.
Yeah, let's do it, man.
So all of you ladies that are out there that is just, looking to kick it, y'all can hit Omar and Eric up. Both of their names are out there. And if you want to pay for a couple of meals at Del Frisco, hit Tony up. And if you want to get shot in your face, hit Willie up. Because that's going to be the end of you. So if you want to get shot in your face, hit
at the
Willie
restaurant.
up.
At the restaurant.
Yeah, at the restaurant.
No
shame.
I'm not going because I know she can shoot. I already know she got a good aim.
Hey, fellas, we gonna keep Tony and our Rolodex and our phone on speed dial just in case we at the restaurant and got to do a backtrack.
Yeah, hey, I got you. I'm at work right now. I'm at work right now. I can look something up for you right now. What you got?
Hey,
look up Leslie Allen.
Get the background. What all we need? Just a name and
date of birth. Name, date of birth.
You can get that on the first date, right? You get that on first date, a name and date of birth.
Oh yeah.
So fellas, this has
been your birthday. I want to buy you something.
There you go. Yeah.
Nah, you know how you got to do it. Oh, so you're an Aries.
Oh man.
Yeah, you're Aries.
Yeah,
your birthday.
Yeah, there you go.
So this has been amazing. Eric, real quick, give us a shout out. So for those, Eric is becoming one of the sponsors of the podcast, his business. He has a mobile detailing service. Eric, tell us a little bit about it, man.
I just started a luxury detail mobile service, white tile luxury car detail. I come to you on site, to your job, to your home, wherever you are, and I'll detail your car, making it look like you just purchased it off the showroom floor.
That's what's up.
Okay, and if y'all single ladies, y'all get Eric's service. He will wrap the white towel around y'all and hit it. So
and we do a background check. So if y'all ain't
there we go. That's good.
Background
If you
check.
get a prison, we'll know about it.
Yeah, we'll know. If your credentials ain't right, we gonna know.
Yeah.
Fellas, thank y'all for coming on tonight. We are definitely going to have y'all back on here because this has been amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Willie, Tony, Omar, Eric, thank you guys for being here tonight. And everybody, we will see you next Monday, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Donald Swanson is the guest for next week. He works, he's a drug reform advocate. So he's going to be on the show next week, and I'm really excited about him being on here. So next week, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Look forward to seeing you guys then. Peace.
Peace.